you. We're good?
Yeah.
Alright, so Mr. Frank, we're just going to go through a little bit, seeing we're not catching up face to face. So I'm Brooke, so you can give me a buzz when you get him home and we can go through anything you need. First thing for him that'll be on the program is just sling walking for toilet purposes. So I can either post one of these up to you, it's a ginger lead. Good thing about him is you just attach up to his harness, so you then just have to have one handle because he'll need to be walked with a sling and a lead. If not, you can use like a dressing gown belt. Just make sure it's positioned behind his willy, so it's thin but comfortable at the back there, okay? So we want him to walk, but I just want him to give him enough support that he's not wiggling and wobbling, and we're using it for that 6-week period. So you can see he's starting to get movement himself. He's doing really, really well. So I'm just taking a little bit, pulling back actually, works quite well to try and get that weight on his back legs, okay? So he's still a bit drunk, and you can see that there's a little bit of a hunch still here, but the wound's healing really well, okay? So we're just going to go through a little bit of hands-on with him. So the sling walks will be for toilet purpose 3 to 4 times a day, so up to 5 minutes for the first couple of weeks. Other than that, with Frank, the best thing you can do really is standing balance. So he's going to be contained to a crate, which we'll speak through on the phone, but you know, metre by metre is probably enough for him. When you're standing him, just try and work on getting those feet underneath him so that his toes are vertical. He's been really tight through his hips, so he tends to want to tuck them under. And then we can use a treat and try and get him to do some active movement with his spine. So I'm just lightly supporting him, and if I get him to look up, you'll just see that spine extend a little bit. So we're trying to start to get some muscles on his top line, on his back extensors. So I'm just holding him back and trying to get him to reach forward and up a little bit. Okay, and eventually he'll start to activate a bit more. Good boy. So you can do this at meal times. From there, I take the treat around, so I'm just holding his back leg still, and he should be able to come all the way, he's a hungry monkey, come all the way to his bum. So you can see how he's moving. This bit still stays rigid, so eventually we'll free that up a bit more. So on this side, nose, he finds it a little bit trickier to go that way. So you can do 3 or 4 each way. And again, he'll only go as far as he's comfortable. So you should start to see that free up a little bit. In between, looking up. And I'm just trying to hold him there, but not give him too much support. So he has to balance a little bit too. Okay, we will progress your stability exercises down the track, so you can probably catch up for a Skype or a FaceTime. I'd recommend in 4 to 6 weeks or so, because there's lots of movement we need to do from there with stability. Eventually we can work on 3-leg standing, diagonal stands and that sort of thing. So you actually can probably start that a little bit now. So I'm just supporting him and just see if you can start to lift up. Again, try and stand him square. Just start to lift up one front leg. So he's getting that weight on his back legs, okay? You'll see here, this is what we call conscious proprioception. So he's trying to correct his feet. He still can't quite do that, but that'll come back with time, okay? Because he's got a fair bit of increased tone in his legs, one of the reflexes I'll have in the written program is called withdrawal reflex. So if I just tickle his feet, which most dogs don't like, they naturally pull up against, that's a reflex to try and get him to start to use the front of his hip. So in order for us to get some rehab, we want to try and stimulate those feet quite a lot. So I'm just tickling right under those pads and just lightly squeeze the toes so he pulls up. He should also kick you away a little bit. So just do it within tolerance, but slight little tickling. The more awareness of his feet he has, the better. I'll show you things lying down, but in order to do that, that just helps him bend his legs up. And then I'll just show you one stretch. So I just support under the belly, the whole hand. Cup your hand around the top of the thigh and just rub his belly a little bit, and we're going to slowly bring that leg straight back. Now this is as far as he's comfortable. We do need to try and get that leg eventually all the way back so that the heel comes up in line with the body. So he's still pretty tight in his hips based on the nerve that's coming down for him. So just go gently with that. And the same on the other side. So a little bit of a belly rub and just slowly stretch back. It's a little bit easier on that right side. Now try and hold that 30 or 60 seconds. So that's called a hip extension stretch. Okay. Where we need to massage for him is a lot in the side of his hips and his bum. So here's his hip bone, there's his pelvic bone. So all in the side of his hips here. You'll feel he's really, really tight around the top part of his glutes and in through the side of his hips. So just try and go along the length of that and just find the pressure that he's comfortable with. And then your index fingers can come right up through the front. So you can do this lying down as well, but I'd be spending lots of time with your thumb in that part, and then the same on the other side, so just in through the side of the hip. And again, he feels tighter to me on the left. Okay, so you just go slowly so he lets you know. Don't feel too scared not to contact here. We generally use a heat pack, so you can pop the heat over that mid-back, and then just gently massaging. I'm going really quick because it ends up being a really long video, but just flat fingers. Okay, the more contact the better. And you can see that look on his face. He actually quite likes it. Yeah, go Frankie. So just gentle pressure either side of his spine. So if you get that nice gooey look, you get a look at his eyes, you know you're on the money. Okay, so go slowly so he sort of goes, oh yeah. Okay, if he's turning to mouth you or trying to get out, then you're going too hard or too fast. So just slow it right down. So here's a chance to let you know what he's doing, okay? But he's really quite tight either side in that mid-back, so he actually really likes it. You can then do those stretches, so we can come out a little bit, or you can use a belly rub like we did in standing. You might find seeing he's quite happy on his side that you can get a little bit more out of that hip stretch. So just go slowly. I go against the hair, or you can just gently rub his back. You can see he really likes that, so you might find that's a bit more of a comfortable position for him. And then just give it a really long hold, I mean even 2 minutes, okay? So while you're there you can massage and get some heat on, okay? Let's see if we can get those hips moving back. Eventually what we need to do is actually get him really pushing back in that range when he's walking, so that he starts to build up his glutes, and try and get him using that range. So if you see him walking and getting into a hunch, we know that he's fatiguing, okay? Seeing he's got lots of weight on his front legs at the moment, don't forget to give him a good massage of his shoulder blades, which obviously he's hating. So you can get in and give that a massage. And sometimes they just can't groom themselves, so give them a good old-fashioned scratch, okay? It's not really physio, but it's just quality of life. You can't get under here and give himself a good scratch, so they usually like a good old scratch. So you can get on those shoulder blades and just massage those as well. He is okay to roll over, okay, and eventually use that a little bit too. So if he actually likes going on his back, he's so cute. So you can also just stretch him a bit that way, so he's quite comfortable on his back. So I've just got slight pressure on top of his thighs. Again, if you rub his breastbone and just hold that pressure gently, he will let you know if it's too much, okay? But he's quite happy there. So you can do that stretch in any position really. I'll probably find this in the side better for him. He's quite happy in that position. And then you can roll onto that side and do the same, okay? So just gently open that hip out. Alright, so we'll catch up by phone or Skype or FaceTime as we need in between. But the main thing is just spend about 5 minutes morning and night going through that with him, using heat packs and massage and stretch his hips. Try and stand him up, do a few treat stretches, and then take him for a toilet walk. And he is able to urinate on his own, so just make sure that he's having a good wee 3 to 4 times a day. Alright, thank you.